Hi, everyone. It's Rich Sheffrin with another segment of Steal Our Winners, and I have the pleasure of sitting with Rob Kosberg. And this is a man to listen to as it relates to getting your message out through alternative channels. This channel specifically about having your own book, we're going to dive into, and marketing that book. And so Rob's one of the guys to listen to when it comes to that. So I'm excited to get some of these juicy details and hear about this winning strategy. So Rob, welcome, and the floor is yours.
Thanks, Rich. Yeah, good to be with you. Obviously, we run a lot of different kinds of funnels, like you do, and so many that are probably listening and watching. Webinar funnels, opt-in funnels, funnels to Facebook group campaigns, you name it. We still run those, but the one that has consistently performed the best is basically our book funnel and self-liquidating offer into free plus shipping and et cetera. So I was going to
And when
kind
you
of walk you
say,
through.
yeah, and when you say, Rob, that has done the best, what do you mean? Like done the best from a standpoint of like cost per acquisition or what specifically?
Yeah, done the best as far as actual client acquisition and getting the best customers. Like at the end of all of it, we've found that a buyer, even for as little as $7.95, is worth up to 16 times more than an email opt-in to the company. And so, it's like night and day, the people that are coming to us that are coming through our book funnel versus all the other marketing stuff that we're doing.
Gotcha. All right, great. Yeah. So that would be great to walk us through something like that.
Yeah. The key for us is, we're selling something really high ticket on the back end, right? So,
Mhm.
our goal is to use the book and build as high a fence as possible, right? Even to go in the red on the front, although, hey, look, we'd like to make money on the front end too. But even the willingness to go in the hole on the front end, because we know what's coming out the back end is significantly better. So I'll share my screen. I'll show you some of the stats and kind of walk you through the mistakes we've made over the past year and what specifically we've learned. So let me go ahead and share it. Make sure you can see my screen. Can you see it here?
I can.
Okay. So this is just our book funnel. This is like the last 11 or 12 months. This funnel, just this particular book funnel, the Publish, Promote, Profit book has done, just under $2.8 million. And that's from the stuff that we've sold within the funnel, but that's only about 320,000. But more importantly, the back end stuff. And so I'll walk you through, let me move this. I'll walk you through the various pages and all that. There are two primary funnels that we used, and the second one I'll show you is the big mistake that we made, and has everything to do with being intentional on the front end. But these are our book funnel stats. The published book that we used and continue to run traffic to sold somewhere in the range of 7,900 copies over the last 12 months. And, some of that's through various channels like, YouTube and LinkedIn, but primarily Facebook and Instagram. Really, really simple ads. I'll even show you those. 29% opt-in rate. What we were interested in doing as much as we possibly could was getting a nice average cart value via our upsells so that
Mhm.
we could liquidate, the cost per acquisition on the front end. Now, we didn't do that exactly. Our cost per acquisition, averaged over the last year or so. It's more like 45 to $50, but still significantly worth it because of what comes out the back end. Our average client's about 17,500 that comes out the back, and I'll share some of those details. But the various steps of the funnel, I'll walk you through those when I show you the funnel pages, but there's some things that we learned about what to do and what not to do. Second step of the funnel, always great to do some type of audio version of the book. So if you have a
Mhm.
book, always having something that is audio, because people like to consume it that way. Various bonuses. Basically, we go from $7.95 to 37 or $47, all the way up to $297. Again, I'll show you those pages. And then most importantly, the last page, which is for lack of a better explanation, a webinar to a strategy session application. That's it. We just want the telephone call more than anything else. This was one of the mistakes that we made. We were really excited about this on the front end, but I have another version of the book that we run, which is just strictly a workbook. And we were running traffic to this, and our cost per acquisition on this was like 10, 15 bucks. So we were thrilled, even though our average cart value is significantly lower. What I didn't realize until we were, 100,000 in ad cost was
it's the same buyers.
it's not the same buyer.
Oh, okay, that's what I would have
Yeah,
thought.
I mean, we thought it was
Right.
going to be the same buyer, but what we didn't realize was that someone, the intentionality of somebody that's buying a workbook is not really thinking about spending 15, 20, 30,000 on the back
Right.
end.
That's a
So
good point.
we were going in the hole on every single one of these sales, although not deep, but still going in the hole, and the back end was horrible. So we're like,
Right.
okay. It only took me about 5 months and 100 grand in ad cost to realize that. So
Yeah, that's a good point. I can
so
see
stay
that
away
in
from the
hindsight.
workbooks, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that we learned that lesson. Obviously, if I could find a way to make a profit on the front end here, then I'd probably do it. But that's not really what we're interested in. This is a great funnel for somebody that's got a high ticket back end. 5, 10, 20, even up to 100,000. Some of our clients are. So that kind of back end, you have the right buyer that is thinking about consuming a book and is willing to pull out their credit card to do that very thing. So I'll go through the funnel so you can see some of the pages. Fairly simple. The thing that I like about the funnel, even though there's a lot of iterations and it can be a little bit complicated, but for the most part, it's a simple offer. It's not complicated. It's a video selling the free book, basically. Right on the front end, you have your customer testimonials and various other things from people that either bought the book or are clients. If you can throw in some bonuses, then obviously that's real strong. And then one thing that we always recommend doing, and I've seen this hurt people that have come to me, is you should do something on Amazon so you have some great reviews on Amazon, because oftentimes these people are smart enough to look at your book and then go to Amazon and compare price and also see if there are any decent reviews on Amazon. So, we always list the price of the book at $24.95 or above. So the fact that we're competing against Amazon for the lead in essence. And so, they're much happier to get it from me for $7.95, cost of shipping, than paying Amazon the $24.95. And they're 60, 80, 100 reviews on Amazon that really back up what we're doing. So really simple. We got a couple of simple bumps on the page itself. We got, I throw in the workbook as a bump. I decided I need to use it in some way, right? I wasn't going to use it as the front end. So I use it as a bump. This bump, what we found with this one, this is a really simple bump. It's a short training we did on how people can actually pay for their book prior to the book being done. And we get about an 18% take rate on this $37 bump, which is pretty nice. We've tried a lot of others. And I think what we've discovered with this bump is if you can show people right away how they can monetize your idea and actually make money from it quickly, even if it's something as simple as writing a book or publishing a book or whatever, which isn't necessarily in the make money space, then the take rate seems to be really high on something like that.
That makes sense.
Really simple. First offer, as I said, is the audio version of the book. I believe, and I'm not 100% sure on this, but I believe that it's helped us because I don't offer this book on Audible. And so what I decided to do was leave it off Audible and not compete with Amazon at all, and basically give people one place that they can buy the audio version. And so I charge $47 for it. Now I do give some other bonuses that they can get, but we have almost a 20% take rate on this audio version. And at $47, that's ridiculous. You know what I mean? Like who wants to pay $47 for an audio version? But people
20%.
want it, and if they want it enough, right? 20% are willing to. That's exactly right.
Right.
So really simple. And then third page is where we get a little bit more expensive. $297, which is like a coaching program that we run, and really all it is they get to be a part of our community. I do a weekly live coaching call and have all of this, this giant store of value, basically. This bump itself, to go back, is, roughly 3.5%. So we got 3.5% take rate on people that are giving us $297, or we have the downsell, and let me just refresh it so you can see it. The downsell is simply, hey, you can do it in 3 payments of $97. And really, simple thing, but it's about 50-50. So 55% do the immediate $297, and then 45% actually do the 97. So I think we would have lost those buyers completely, which, in this case is like close to 20 grand in additional sales that we've done because of it. So
yeah. So wait, stay on this page for a second. So the way I look at, when I look at funnels, and actually I did one of these segments with Todd Brown, and we were talking about it. And I just wanted to kind of connect dots here. So when I look at pages, what I'm looking at is the conversion rate, and I look at the price point to then kind of determine how much is it paying me kind of in rent, every visitor seeing it, like how much is a visitor to that page, that upsell worth to me.
yes.
And so we have a page right now that, so like, let's say that upsell is, what was it, 200 or 300? It was
297, yeah, 300.
Yeah, so 300. So at 4%, you're getting $12 from that page, so to speak.
Right.
So, which is good. And I don't feel like doing the math for the other one, but
well, the 47, we're getting about $12 from that page as well, because it's 1 out of 5. That, well, a little less than that. It's more like $9 on that page.
Got it. Yeah, that's why. Like, I don't know if you've seen our promo yet, but the one for the live stream, but the mystery box has been holding strong at a 75% conversion rate. So it's a second upsell. So,
that's awesome.
But it's a $30 sale, but it's netting right like $23 per person. So it's, I bet you we'll see a lot more mystery boxes over the next couple of months.
Wow. Well,
it's already a couple of people already came over. Yeah, a couple of people already came over to me from Agora and told me they were going to copy it when they saw the performance. So
yeah,
it's bound to happen. So yeah, keep going. Sorry for the distraction though, but that's how good. I like to look at pages. So when I'm looking at pages, I'm looking at the dollar amount each page is generating, per visitor, recognizing that, I have to stop showing when I see 2 no's. Once someone said no twice, I stop. And so what's paths are going to maximize the profit.
I love that. Yeah, that's a great way to think about it. One thing that we're doing with this, and maybe the 297, I can certainly play with and adjust the price. But one of the things I like about that particular offer is it gets, almost
gets people into the continuity.
Yeah. That's right. And into my community where I'm speaking every single week, and basically every week in this little private group where there are hundreds there, I'm talking about my done for you client successes. Mm-hmm. And so there's a natural ascension from that group into our done for you services as well, which is pretty cool.
Oh, that's pretty cool. Yeah. Very cool. So keep going. I'm sorry I interrupted the flow.
Good. That's good. That's helpful for me. I'm going to add that page. And this is our last page. Look, for us, this is the bread and butter. I mean, we're not, like I said, these numbers, $37 average cart value, but the reality is we're spending, $45, $50, depending if it's YouTube or Facebook. Now, in the beginning, we were actually making money, but you know how that is. That levels off over a period of time. But for us, the bread and butter is here, and that is, a kind of start your training now. And it's a hour-long video where basically I'm using case study after case study after case study to get them into a call. We also tested the application being directly on the page versus not on the page. And we did find that it being directly on the page, and in fact, below, for some reason, seemed to convert for us even better than it being right next to it. Maybe that's the size of the video that did it. Not 100% sure on why that is, but so they can run through the app right there. And just to give you some like real math.
And you have the trailing video there on the left.
Yes.
So that,
they can keep watching the video and they can fill the app out at the same time. And we get a good percentage that fill the application out immediately, which is of course what we want. Then we have an autoresponder series, of course, that, continues to follow up, watch the video, et cetera. But last year, what this one page amounted to was 1,752 applications that converted into 156 high ticket clients at an average client value of $17,500. So, for us, I have, 3 full-time sales
Mhm.
guys that, I'm just booking their calendars every day through a number of different means. And this is the one that they're most excited about, right?
Yeah.
Because they know they have a buyer, they know they have somebody that has gone through the whole system and has watched the video on top of everything else after pulling out their credit card. So
And the video's an hour, you said?
video's an hour long and has the call to action at the end for the application.
And what happens if someone bails halfway through?
It is not cookied. It should be, though, right? I mean, it's not cookied for how much they're actually watching. So we're just following up. If at any point they drop off, we're following up to get them right back. So I don't know if they're watching 25% or whatever. We just keep.
You're freezing on me a little bit. Might be because the video's playing. Yeah, maybe if you stop the video.
I lost your first.
And yeah, I think it's the video. The video playing on your screen.
Oh, all right. Let's get rid of that.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's draining bandwidth. What I was going to say was, if you use a service like Wistia.
Yeah, and they're all on Wistia. They all are already.
Yeah, then you can cookie people and you can invite because like if it's an hour long and someone watched a half hour, the likelihood of getting them to rewatch that half hour before getting to the meat is,
I'm taking notes.
Right, is challenging. And you surprise them like that it is an hour. So if it were me, I would say anyone that watched more than, let's say, 10 minutes was obviously interested, but might have had to have gone. And so an email follow-up to them that said, saw you had to sorry you had to leave the video before finishing. You can pick up, right where you left off by clicking here.
Oh, I love that. I love it. And it's funny, everything that we're doing is on Wistia, but that wasn't the primary reason. But, I even have some of my ads pulled up. And the reason I pulled up some of my ads for this campaign is because you can make a lot of mistakes in this campaign, like the one you just mentioned. I should have been doing that, but I'm not. And you can do things really simple. But when you have a big fat back end and you're bringing buyers in on the front end, man, I mean, it makes a lot of the mistakes and pain go away. You don't have to be perfect all the way through for it to be a winner. I mean, our ads are really simple. There's nothing complicated or, I don't have this big ad structure. It's really simple. It's a video to the book with just a flip through of the book with a little bit of copy, or it's a picture of the book and, my guy made some garbage and took a picture, right? Like nothing. And probably the best producing ones tend to be testimonial videos. So if you ever get a testimonial video from someone with your book, like obviously I got Russell here, but any kind of testimonial videos work really, really nicely. But again, simple. It doesn't take a lot of copy and it's not like complicated targeting. You can make a lot of mistakes and almost break even on the front and have this slew of free leads that you're getting that are just great quality.
Yeah, two things that, just to underscore what you said. I always learned that in business, the greater the margin, the sloppier you can be and still be profitable, for sure, right? And then the other, there was something else you said though that that I wanted to underscore. No, I don't remember what it was, so I'll have to pass on that one. But I did want to ask you about the design of your page, because I've had others tell me that in their book funnels, the design actually mattered quite a bit in their testing, a lot more than they thought, as opposed to the copy, that the design of the page actually had a significant amount of impact.
Yeah, we've tested a bunch of different designs. This is by far the best. So we, video and selling the book right out of the gate. Video above the fold, super, super strong. We've tested just copy with no video, did not pull as well. We've tested shorter videos. This video is actually 9 minutes long with a number of testimonials in it. We've tested shorter videos that actually did not pull as well. The longer video tended to pull better. And honestly, I added these 3 bonus trainings in a little later in the game, and they certainly helped. But in the beginning, we didn't have any bonuses or anything like that. And it was pulling, just as fine. I mean, maybe it gave us a couple of points as a bump, but not much. And then proof also has helped. In the beginning, it gave us a almost 10% on opt-ins to have, the social proof that other people are buying it. It's not as much now. And in fact, we've tested different pages without it, and they seem to be doing about the same. So in the beginning, it worked well, but then it seemed to fade. And I don't know why that is. It doesn't seem to be logical, but that's what we found.
Gotcha. And I'm almost afraid to ask this question, but I'll ask it anyway. Of the people that you end up closing, into the more done for you services, what percentage of them read the book?
Pretty low. Yeah, very, very low. I can tell you that, all of them, or certainly all of them that come directly through this funnel have purchased the book. Many of them become clients even before they get the book. Like the book takes 2 weeks to ship and fulfill. So many of them are becoming clients because they have this sense of urgency and they have the social. I mean, I think one of the things that people love about this is, here I am, the book guy, but using books to get customers, which is what they want to do. So I think there's that element of social proof. Like, why would I go somewhere else if this is exactly what I want to do? And most of them do not read the book, which, you still need a decent book, but.
Well, that's why I was asking it, because and the reason I was afraid to ask it is that I'm a voracious reader. Yeah. It's always obvious to me the books that I can tell pretty quickly, like a book that was written so they had a book, as opposed to someone who was trying to compress a lifetime of experience or whatever into a book. But the truth of the matter is that at the end of the day, that most people are not readers. The ones that are readers are generally the best customers.
Yes.
However, you could have this book funnel with a draft of a book, and it would still, everything would perform the same. That was the reason I was asking, even though, I would hope most people have pride of authorship and would want to write something good.
I think I'm like you. I probably, like many people watching, I buy a lot of stuff online, right? And I'm going through people's funnels all the time. If I see a free plus shipping offer that I like, I'm going through it. I'm videotaping everything. But I tell you, I've gotten a number of books, and they were such garbage that I did not want to work with those people in those industries. And so, I do think that there's an element that you got to play the long game, because, sure, you're going to get clients right out of the gate, but maybe only 25 or 30%. The other 50, 60, 70% are going to come a month, 5 months, 10 months, 2 years down the road. And so it's about playing the long game and providing quality as well.
Of course. Yeah. Not, definitely don't want, you don't want to disappoint. If your business model is based on finding stupid customers, it's not really an ideal model, for sure. And so, so you've tested this against webinars, you said, and what other types of acquisition have you tried?
I mean, so even right now, we use AdWords, but we couldn't get the book funnel to convert profitably on AdWords. So we still run AdWords, but we run AdWords basically to an application funnel, and we get decent application cost, 60, 70, $80 for an app, but the quality is significantly lower. I mean, significantly lower. And so, so we still run those funnels. We have, PDF funnels, right? Lead magnet funnels that we run. Similar with AdWords, we run a lot of traffic on LinkedIn, but but it was costing us 250 bucks to get a book buyer on LinkedIn. I mean, it's just ridiculous. So we run, lead magnet funnels there. We do have a little higher quality person because LinkedIn is kind of the right community to work in, but still the quality is not as strong as the book, the book buyers that come through this funnel. Even
right.
though I
And
think
that,
Facebook,
yeah, and my experience has been that book buyers are generally better, in general across the board.
period.
But certainly in your business, it would only make sense that those that came to you through a book offer would be the most ideal because they just went through what it is they're trying to have for themselves.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
that makes total sense.
100%. So I mean, we still run traffic to all those offers and they're profitable for us, but not as profitable as this. And honestly, Rich, what becomes the biggest challenge, believe it or not, even in my industry is, we've been running this offer now for 18 months pretty hard. I think I've probably spent, certainly more than $500,000 on traffic just on Facebook and Instagram to this offer. And so I have 2 more books that I have coming out because you know how it is. I mean, it's, it just exhausts the buyers. And so the offer itself is great, but you are a little bit limited with the amount of traffic. I think you can probably run it for about a year. We're stretching that to about 18 months now. And I need, some new books to come out. So we're actually testing some other, self-liquidating front end offers besides the books. And I'll give you some feedback on that in the next, probably 2 to 4 weeks.
Oh, awesome. Awesome. So are there any questions about this that I didn't ask you that I should have?
Yeah, good. Now we talked about the psychology of it. I made some notes here. No, I think it's pretty strong. It's even like, you don't even need like killers on the phone with this kind of offer. It's you can sell a high ticket and you have such a qualified person that's come through, because you know how it is, the back end, usually you think, okay, if I'm selling something for 20 grand, I need a stone cold killer sales guy that's going to just hardcore close them. And we don't do that. And, and it works, it still works well, even without a hardcore killer on the phone. Of course, might not mind having a killer or 2 on the phone. Not saying I'm against that or anything.
Right. No, I get it. Well, this has been awesome, Rob. So very helpful. And when you first launched it, so I guess this is my last question. What's the minimum viable funnel to get this going, I guess?
Oh, yeah. Great question. So, we coach our clients on this. So honestly, the minimal funnel is the book itself, 1 bump, which is even questionable, and then the audio book. That's it. That's all you need. And then call to action to an application. We just mapped one out earlier today for a guy. If that's, an audio book is easy because that's just repurposed from your book. And if you have one other simple little bump, which is easy to kind of navigate through, then this will work like magic.
Awesome. And as someone who I assume helps people get their books done in some way, shape, or form and gets it out there, do you have any advice for people if they love this idea, but they currently don't have a book?
If they love the idea and they don't have a book, then the most obvious is to get a book. But if that is even too kind of oppressive an idea, then think of another way to create some type of self-liquidating offer on the front end. And that could be like a mini course that's on video. That's something they can sell for $7, $10. I have a buddy that didn't want to do a whole book. So what he's doing is he's doing newsletters every month. And basically he's doing an 8 to 16 page newsletter. And he's basically charging $7 to $27 on continuity. And so, rather than waiting 6 months to have his book done, he just needed a chapter of the book done. Now, he's a great copywriter and there's a lot of good opportunity there to, when you're good at marketing and good at copy to have a great front end. But that's, that's probably the easiest way if you're a good writer, but you don't have the whole thing to get started or some course.
Got it. Very cool. Well, it's been very educational, Rob. So thank you for that. I'll see you down in Delray in just like a matter of a week.
Oh, yeah. Looking forward to it.
and we'll check in with you a couple times over the year at a minimum, and find out how these new strategies are doing, as well as how the book funnel holds up, and any other strategies you come across. So speak to you soon.
Sounds good,
Thanks for
brother.
joining
Thanks.
us. Bye-bye.